Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about how to tune your violin for the first time. So this is a great video for the absolute beginner who hasn't tuned the violin before. I'm going to take you step by step through the process of tuning a string and also talk you through some tips to look out for to help you look after your violin. First of all, here is what your violin should sound like when it's in tune. So here's the G string and the D string. The A string and the E string. So we have two sets of adjusters for tuning the violin. We have the tuning pegs at the top of the violin's neck, and these are used for large changes in pitch. So if your violin is a long way out of tune. You'll also notice on the violin's tailpiece we have 4 little screws, and these are the fine adjusters, and we use these for small changes in pitch. Now if you turn these clockwise, you'll bring the pitch of the string up, you'll bring the tension up, so your note will get higher. If you turn the peg anti-clockwise, you'll bring the tension of the string down, so the note will go lower. These ones are slightly different. On the right hand side, if you want to increase the pitch of the note, we'll turn the peg clockwise. So we'll bring the tension of the string upwards. If you want to bring the tension of the string down or bring the pitch down, we're going to turn anti-clockwise. On the left hand side, it's the other way round. So if we want to increase the pitch, increase the tension, we turn anti-clockwise. And if we want to bring the tension of the string down or bring the note down, we turn clockwise. Now we recommend that you get one of these. This is an electronic tuner. I'm going to turn it on and I'll attach it to the scroll of my violin. Now you notice when I pluck a string, it tells me what note I'm playing. Also there's a little arrow, and that's used to guide which way to go in pitch. So we're going to bring the pitch up or we're going to bring the pitch down. Now before we start tuning, if you're a guitar player or if you have a guitarist in your household, you'll be used to the tuning pegs on the guitar taking many rotations to bring the pitch of the string up. Now the violin's not really like this. If you take the pitch of the string up, if you turn the peg just a couple of millimeters, it makes a really big difference. So we need to be really careful with tuning the strings. If we bring the tension of the string up too fast, we can break it, especially on the E string, which is really thin. So what I recommend you do as you tune, keep plucking the strings so you can hear the change in pitch and so you can compare it with where you want to get to. The violin strings are called G, D, A and E. So you can remember this: good dogs always eat. We tend to start tuning with the A string. So this is what your A string should sound like. So now with the help of our tuner and listening to the note that you just heard, we're going to tune the A string. I would like you to pluck your A string and we're going to play the note again and have a think about whether your note is lower or higher than the note being played. You can also have a look at which note the tuner is telling you that you're playing. So if I demonstrate with my violin, if I pluck my A string, at the moment it's saying G. Now in the musical alphabet, G is the last letter of the alphabet and A starts it again. So to increase in pitch we need to go from G up to A. So I'm going to take the peg, if I follow the string up, it's the top peg on the right hand side. So you need to make sure that you're tuning the right one. I'm going to pluck this string and I'm going to turn the peg. I'm going to turn it clockwise. So if we look again, we've got A there. Now if you look at the little arrow, it's spot on. So I'm going to go to the next string, and this is the D string. So this is what the D string sounds like. So now you can pluck your D string and have a listen. Is your D lower or higher than the note being played? I'll show you with mine. So this is the D string. If we follow it up, we're getting to the top peg on the left hand side. So if I pluck my string, now it says C. So to go up through the alphabet, we go C to D. We're going to go upwards in pitch and we're going to turn anti-clockwise. up to the top. Now it's gone a little bit too far, so I'm going to go to my fine adjuster at the bottom, follow the string down, and as I pluck, I'm going to turn the adjuster anti-clockwise to bring it down. And clockwise a bit to bring it back up. Super. Next, we'll go to the G string. So this is what the G string sounds like. Okay, so if you pluck your G string, do you think it needs to go up in pitch or down in pitch? Have a look at your tuner as well. What note does it say? Now my tuner, it says F. So F to G, up in pitch again. I'm going to take the peg, we follow the string up, it's the bottom one on the left, and we'll take it clockwise. Now it looks like it's nearly there. Let's just double check. Good. Okay, finally, we'll go to the E string. So this is the thinnest string at the top, and this is what your E string sounds like. Now when you pluck your string, what does it sound like? Does it need to go up in pitch or down in pitch? This is what my string sounds like. And the tuner says D. So D up to E, we need to go up in pitch again, and we're going to turn the peg clockwise. Now this string is very, very thin, so we need to be really, really careful, very small increments. If you're not sure, go down to your fine adjuster again. So here we go. Okay, nearly there, nearly on the E. I'm not going to push it anymore. I'm going to go to my fine adjuster. And it needs to come up a fraction, so we'll go clockwise with the fine adjuster till the arrow's on the E. Anti-clockwise a bit. Okay. Now you'll notice that when you've tuned your strings, it's important to go back over them again, because tensioning the strings is going to pull on the tailpiece, and therefore it's going to vary the tension of the strings as you go. So I'm going to go back over, and I'm going to do my A string, my D string, my G string, and my E string again. So you can rewind back and have a listen to the tuning help at the beginning, or you can go back over the last couple of minutes of the video. Now as you're tuning, if you realise that your pegs are slipping and they won't hold, what you need to do is give the peg a little bit of a wiggle and a push into the peg box to try and get a little bit more tension. Also, what you can do is try and get the string to sit right up against the side of the peg box. Now I'll show you how to do this with my A string. Now if I unwind it a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the string over the side of the peg box like this, and as I tension it, give it a little bit of a push in, and the string should sit right up against the side of the peg box. Now as you do this, make sure that your string is still sitting in the right groove on the bridge. So when you're tuning, you might notice that these fine adjusters work their way all the way into the tailpiece. If this happens, what you need to do is turn the adjusters all the way anti-clockwise and reset the tuning with your top pegs. Also, as you're taking the tension of the strings up, you need to be aware of what the bridge is doing. As you tension the strings, your bridge can pull towards the scroll. So if you notice it leaning, we need to do something about that. We need a 90-degree angle down the back of the bridge and across the violin's belly. So if you notice it leaning, you can loosen the tension of the strings ever so slightly, and with two hands bring the bridge back up to its upright position. Your violin teacher should be able to help you with this, or if in doubt, take it to a music shop to get it sorted. Also, if you look down inside the violin's F hole, you might be able to see there's a little stick sticking up underneath the bridge. Now this is called the sound post, and it's really important for getting the violin to resonate properly. So your sound post needs to stay in place. If we tune all of the strings at once, the downward pressure on the bridge disappears and the sound post can collapse. So it's best when you're tuning to do one string at a time, and if you're changing your strings, change one string at a time as well, just to keep this downward pressure on. So that's probably enough from me for today. I hope it's been helpful, and thank you very much for joining me. We'll finish off with just a quick refresher of what your violin will sound like when it's in tune. So here's the G string, and the D string, the A string, and the E string.